There's a video that came out a while back from popular YouTube atheist Genetically Modified Skeptic. The video is called If Atheists Argued Like Theists. Here's a preview.
You ever wonder what it would sound like if atheists started arguing like theists? I know God isn't real because I've experienced his non-existence personally. You can't prove God doesn't not exist. Just look at the mountains, look at the trees. It's just so obvious. The heavens declare the glory of the laws of physics. Just trust that God doesn't exist and reality will reveal itself to you. The human eye is just too complex to have been created. It must have evolved over millions of years through natural processes. I personally don't want to live in a world where God doesn't not exist. You know me. I wouldn't lie to you. God doesn't exist. Yeah, you say you used to be an atheist, but the fact that you're a theist now proves that you were never a true atheist. You know who else was a theist? Hitler.
Funny, right?
Yeah, sounds pretty ridiculous, doesn't it? Do you think any theist would actually be persuaded by these arguments? I don't think so. That's why these arguments shouldn't be used by anyone. The point is, if you make an argument that can be flipped around and used just as effectively to support a completely different point, then your argument isn't really effective at all. This goes for anyone on any side of any issue. Before using an argument, try swapping out a few words here and there to see if it works for any point. If it does, then it's not really an argument worth using. Now, obviously, I didn't go after any halfway sophisticated arguments for God's existence, just some of the more common cliches that atheists hear all the time. There are definitely much more nuanced arguments for theism. So if you want to see those debunked, then go ahead and check out the videos in my card box. Finally, it's pretty apparent that this video was inspired by one of Hemant Mehta's recent videos. So I'll go ahead and link that in the card box too, and you can check it out. Thanks for watching.
This video was so funny that after watching this, I asked my friend Organically Qualified Epic to make a video called If Theists Argued Like Atheists. Take a look. You ever wondered what it would sound like if theists started arguing like atheists? I would just love to believe, and I'm really open to being convinced otherwise. I just need for you to give me a single shred of evidence that I'm wrong. Nope, not convinced. I'm not saying your views are wrong. I'm just saying that I lack belief that you're right. Ha! Equal rights? If you were born in Saudi Arabia, you wouldn't even believe in equal rights. You've been so indoctrinated. We're all theists. You just believe in one less God than me. The only reason I spend so much time debating secular people is because they keep trying to impose their secular views on everyone else by having their secular beliefs pass legislation. Ha! You call that evidence? All you have are some guys saying that they did some experiments. You don't have evidence, you have claims. Claims aren't evidence. You don't believe that God exists? There are so many different ways of thinking about God and religion. What makes you think that your view is the right one? I need scientific evidence. There is no scientific evidence that Darwin existed. All I need is a shred of evidence. Now continue giving me evidence while I sit back and tell you how I'm not convinced. And I'll tell you that that's not even evidence. I don't need secular morality to know right from wrong. Yes, I'm a theist, but that doesn't mean that I believe that God exists. I just lack belief that theism is false, and I live my life as if God exists. I understand you believe that evolution explains why these fossils are in the ground, but that only shows that something died. What's that? What's my explanation for how they got there? Well, I'm not the one making an argument. I'm not the one making the claim. I'm just saying that I don't know, rather than pretending that I do know, like you. See how humble I am? No one cares about your personal testimony. Cool story, bro. Now let me tell you about how I grew out of my lack of belief. I'm so much more happy now. You guys are so judgmental, you dumb, unsophisticated, judgmental people. Personal experience is the worst kind of reasoning there is. What would convince me that I'm wrong? I don't know, but I'll know if I personally experience it. You really expect for me to believe that everything that you see came about without a God? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Us theists actually understand atheism better than most atheists since we all used to be atheists when we lacked belief as babies. Science books are not evidence. Try again. Religion gives you morality. Science gives you nuclear weapons. Too lazy to understand philosophy? Try atheism. You believe that everything physical inside of the universe has a cause? Well, we just go one step further and claim that the universe needs a cause as well. If it was logical to believe that God doesn't exist, we would not believe that God exists. I can't change my beliefs, bro. We don't care what you believe. We would leave you alone if you didn't try to impose your views on government and education. Atheism, the belief that there was nothing, and then nothing happened to nothing, and then nothing magically exploded for no reason, creating everything, and then a bunch of everything magically rearranged itself for no reason whatsoever into self-replicating bits, which eventually turned into dinosaurs. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Okay, explain to me what you believe. Nice word salad. Talk about mental gymnastics. I trust history. History is the most reliable method that we have for determining the past. STDs, sex education. Imagine being so obsessed with what goes on in someone else's bedroom. I've been studying this for 20 years. 20 years. And no one has been able to provide me a single shred of evidence that I'm wrong. If you got some, bring it. You can't, you ain't got it, and he doesn't either. You lose, I win. Yeah, sounds pretty ridiculous, doesn't it? Do you think that any theist would actually be persuaded by these arguments? I don't think so. This is why these arguments shouldn't be used by anyone. The point is, if you make an argument that can be flipped around and used just as effectively to support a completely different point, then your argument isn't really effective at all. This goes for anyone on any side of any issue. Before using an argument, try swapping out a few words here and there to see if it works for any point. If it does, then it's not really an argument worth using. Now, obviously, I didn't go after any halfway sophisticated arguments against God's existence, since internet atheists don't even try to offer any since they claim to only lack belief. Just some of the more common cliches that theists hear all the time from people who don't even know that there's arguments against God's existence in the first place. There are definitely much more nuanced arguments for atheism used in philosophy, but chances are you won't meet an online atheist who even knows that they exist. But there are many unsophisticated cliches. So if you want to see those debunked, then go ahead and check out the videos in my card box. Finally, it's pretty apparent that this video is inspired by one of Drew from Genetically Modified Skeptic's worst videos, so I'll go ahead and link that in the description too, and you can check it out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, everyone stay skeptical about the views that go against your own. And the next time that someone says,
You ever wonder what it would sound like if atheists started arguing like theists?
what are you gonna say?
What do you meme? Whoa, when I show evidence, but you say there's no proof. What do you meme? Whoa, when you say there's no God, but you also say there's still grounding for objective moral values and truth.